All right. Good morning. It is 9 a.m. right on the nose. Um, so yeah, I actually slept in a little bit later today. I've been getting up early because my schedule's gone early. Having gone back to college, I was in the morning wake up, but today is Sunday, and I got an update. Didn't know wasn't really planning on streaming this morning. Although most of my streams have been pretty impromptu, especially about this particular topic. But I did get confirmation from Gabe Hoffman that I'll just get right to the point. I did get confirmation from Gabe Hoffman that he did send an email to David Shurter, and so that is authentic. But in the meantime, while some of you may be able to join me this morning, I'm going to play some music that I created on Suno.com on my Astral Record 6980. I guess that's what the name of it is.
Central man in the membrane. Insane is the ending game. Cure sacrifice is a goat 720. Listen to me. Try to believe, because I deceive. 33 are on me. For those who can't see, Central man in the membrane. Insane is the end game. You are to blame when I created the game. Let's do the Saint Germain. Let's do the Saint Germain. Let's dance, pretend we're friends, and pretentious and contentious. Let's be Saint
Actually, you know what? This is from the library, but I did make a recording yesterday that has images. I think the images would be better. Hi, welcome. I see somebody's joined me here. I made this music. Well, actually, I did it on my birthday. I've been playing around with Suno music so that I can create my own songs. And when you do it, you put in your lyrics or whatever. This particular day, how many Saint Germain videos has Sophia Music actually put out there now, but then claims that he's not trying to tell people that he's Saint Germain? Okay, fine. All right, whatever. I'm sure some people will accept that excuse. Not necessarily me, but on my birthday, right, which was July 4th, sometimes I look over and see what he's posting, and also I screenshot what he's posting because I'm saving those things up for documentation. I'm keeping tabs on the harassment that Sophia Music's been doing. And there's this another Saint Germain orchestrated music that everybody, the fake, I don't know if they're real comics or not comics, but it's like, oh my God, Maestro, you finally did it again, almost kind of ridiculousness. And, but then in the description, well, first of all, on his Sophia Music page, he tagged all my enemies, everybody, like some major people that have been really coming after me. One guy for 7 years is tagged in it. And I'm like, okay, so why is he tagging specific people in the debut of his video? And I think that, obviously we know that there's an esoteric element to this. There's an occult aspect with numbers and sacrificing a goat. And all this other kind of stuff. And I thought, you know what? I just clipped some of that stuff and made a song back. You know, if music has a power to it, or words have a power to it, then I flipped it in reverse, and I ran and I debuted at the same time that he debuted my video. So I don't know if that's, you know, I don't practice witchcraft, but it just made sense to me that if somebody is possibly doing a little secret party to send out some negative energies at somebody during their birthday, well, then maybe it might be, you know, good to spin my own will palette of what I thought was counterintuitive to whatever intentions might have been out there that could have been negative. I don't know. It didn't matter, but it also it made me play with my software, and I really enjoyed it. So I put this together. Let me because I added some images to it. The images have a better impact. Well, before I get started on the show, I like it. Now, when I did this on Suno Music, I put in the different types. Like I wanted orchestrated, a little bit of voice distortion. I put in electronic, ambient, and I wanted some French. I wanted a little bit of that French electronica sound to it. And I think the AI did a really good job, actually. So anyway, here's my video I made. Or I live streamed this, actually.
Saint-Germain in the membrane. Insane is the ending game. Pure sacrifice is a goat 720. Listen to me. Try to believe, because I deceive. 33 are on me. For those who can't see, Saint-Germain in the membrane. Insane is the end game. You are to blame when I created the game. Let's do the Saint-Germain. Let's do the Saint-Germain. Let's dance, pretend we're friends, and pretentious and contentious. Let's be Saint-Germain in the membrane. Insane.
So all of these songs are just it's the same lyrics, but they give you all these different versions. And these were my favorite ones that came up. And then I'm showing the different images of Saint Germain, the mythology, the folklore. How many people have even been on the internet and said that they were Saint Germain? I remember back in the early 2012, there was a guy who channeled Saint Germain and had all these meetings, and people would come and listen to his channeling as Saint Germain. and he would talk about all this stuff, this esoteric, all this knowledge that everybody wanted to listen to. And he had a big organization. It was like a full-on church thing. Well, this is the Mount Shasta. This is a religion that Sophia Music has attached himself to repetitively. You know, it's part of the narrative, right? So this is kind of my FU to all of that, the ridiculousness of it.
Is the end game. Pure sacrifices, a goat, 7 tree. Listen to me. Try to believe, because I deceive. I deceive. The trio want me for those who can't see. Saint Germain in the membrane. Insane is the end game. You are to blame when I created the game. Let's do the Saint Germain. Let's do the Saint Germain. Let's dance.
I know I'm interrupting, but this one image it's the same kind of image that they use for Jesus with the lambs. Like, it's the same thing. It's the same type of art. Come on, let's wait. Let's see. Here it comes.
Let's do the Saint Germain.
That one right there. The halo. This is what he's comparing himself to. All right, a saint, someone who has God around them, right? This is so like, it's very Catholicism.
Pretend we're friends.
Exalt myself, make myself believe I'm immortal, I have special abilities, I'm a musician, blah, 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 blah. You really think people believe that? I seriously hope not. I seriously hope not.
And pretentious and contentious, let's be Saint Germain in the membrane.
I mean, even the 2 fingers up.
Saint Germain in the membrane. Insane is the end game. Cure, sacrifice, a goat's head. It's the end game.
Let's go back. How many religious paintings of people from Jesus to, I mean, even the Baphomet does these 2 fingers. Saint Germain, exalted, I'm special. What I say on my Sophia Music channel community page is the truth. It's not. It's a manipulation.
Saint Germain in the membrane. Insane is the end game. Cure, sacrifice.
The purple flame. Remember, like that one, the whole thing around Saint Germain too is like, meditate the purple flame around you. The purple flame of purity. I bring the violet flame. The violet flame. Let it let it soothe all of your chakras.
I said, goat said, on was he? Listen to me, try to believe, because I deceive 33 on me, for those who can't see. Saint Germain in the membrane. Insane is the end game. You are to blame when I created the game. Let's do the Saint Germain. Let's dance, pretend we're friends, and pretentious and contentious. Let's be Saint Germain in the membrane. Insane is the end game. You are to blame when I created the game. Let's do the same, Germain.
Welcome, Orange. Welcome.
Saint Germain in the membrane. Insane is the end game. Pure sacrifices, goats and goats sing. Listen to me, try to believe, because I deceive. The deceive on me, for those who can't see. Saint Germain in the membrane, insane is the end game. You are to blame when I created the game. Let's do the Saint Germain. Let's do the Saint Germain. Let's dance, pretend we're friends, and pretentious and pretentious. Let's be Saint
And then the last one that I did that I liked is this one. And then when it goes, you can even hear like violins and stuff in it, because I asked for that in the video. I wanted it to seem kind of a little bit techno orchestrated. I mean, with the AI, I asked that.
Saint-Germain.
Like, it's like at that French Saint-Germain, like it's all French.
In the membrane, insane is the end game. Cure sacrifices a goat, 7 months friendly. Listen to me, try to believe, because I deceive. I deceive. Thought it healed for those who can see. Saint-Germain in the membrane, insane is the end game. You are to blame when I created the game. Let's do that. Saint Germain. Let's do that. Saint Let's dance, pretend we're friends, and pretentious and contentious. Let's be sentimental. Let's be sentimental.
Anyway, that was some of the music that I created, and I actually like it. I enjoy it. Like I kind of have the lyrics in my head, and oh my God, was I not even in here? How did I bleep myself out? That was weird. I hope you heard what I was saying. Let me see. Let me Oh, what an awkward start. What an awkward start. Okay, let's see. I might have to go in and like edit this. I hope not. I think I had it shared. Even if I wasn't on, you were able to hear the music. You might not be able to hear anything I said about anything, which might have been a good thing. Sometimes like I wonder, like there's like glitches. Am I even? What? All right, give me a second, guys. I guess I should play more music, right? But you've already here. Maybe I'll just do the opening to the show. Let's do the opening. You know, I'm basically here to tell you that I spoke with well, I didn't really speak with him, but Gabe Hoffman reached out to me and said that he actually really did email David Shurter, and I was incorrect about that. And also, he does own the film on Open Secret. He produced it, he put the money behind it, and it is his movie. And so I wanted to correct my mistake on that. Because, you know what, I've always said that I'm just looking for the truth. And, you know, there are times where I will analyze or speculate something, and in that speculation, I might assume something to be true about it. Like, for example, like knowing how the entertainment business is, anyway, let me start. Knowing how the entertainment business is, I know that the actual owner of a movie can fall underneath in a lot of different categories, and I had it wrong. So I wanted to correct it. I want to say that he is the owner of the movie Open Secret, and he also is definitely emailing David Shurter. So David Shurter is under fire a bit. On the stripper pole, laughing loud all for the low, but baby that's not my rabbit hole. Yeah,
Saint Germain, no crown, no name. He plays the game, sharp as a flame. Who's to blame for the stolen fame? A shadow dance in the devil's frame. Go in a rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on a stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lows, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. City lights and sirens scream, truth and lies blend like a dream. Wicked smiles, a clever scheme, chasing gold in the neon gleam. Go in a rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on the stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lows, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. Fast, can't find the ground. Echoes of chaos all around. You chose this dance, this mad parade, but not every choice gets accolades. Go in a rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on the stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lows, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. Laughing loud, all for the lows, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. City lights and sirens scream, truth and lies blend like a dream. Wicked smiles, a clever scheme, chasing gold in the neon gleam. Going down the rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on the stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lows, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole.
All right. Okay, well, welcome. For some reason, I've been up for maybe like an hour, and I probably should have had just a little bit more coffee. So I feel that my thoughts or my mouth, my movements of my mouth want to be slower than the thoughts of my brain coming out, and I'm trying to like match up the two as efficiently as I can. So I can't be perfect about this broadcast. As a matter of fact, I feel like I can't be perfect about anything because where I am right now and talking about this particular topic, I've gone through a huge journey with it, and I have made a lot of mistakes on the way. And in my quest to become a journalist now in my life, I have to, I'm trying to correct some of those mistakes. Oftentimes in journalism, when you go into, I've learned that when you publish something, when you research something, you fact check as much as you can. You go through the editors. You get that, that article posted. There might be something in it that's not accurate, not by the fault of like the people looking into it, but there was just something they just didn't know. They weren't able to have it. I have been playing around, but let me say this, the publication will correct itself. It will say, that was incorrect, blah, 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 or maybe they spelled somebody's name wrong, or we thought this, or whatever. You always make a claim of like, new information has brought this particular thing down. I mean, even when you look at science, right? Let's say you have a discovery, you have a theory, you've tested it, you think that's your hypothesis, it's the theory. But then all of a sudden new information comes in, and all of a sudden you got to retest it, and now there's a new understanding of what the reality of something is. That's why science, one thing about science is that it's self-correcting. And as people, we are self-correcting. And as journalists, we can be self-correcting. And, I just want to say thank you for those who listen to me, that tune into anywhere that I've been. Any shows that I've done in my past. There's some of you guys that are subscribers with me here on Not My Rabbit Hole. In this incarnation of whatever I'm doing on the media, a lot of you have been with me through a lot of this, and before, we knew of a Gabe Hoffman and a David Shurter and a Lift the Veil, and all these other types of entities. But in a sense, we've all kind of in some way converged here at this particular center point, which is really kind of interesting to be a part of, right? But And what I find interesting is just, recently, because Nathan Stoltman is denying that I was ever on Lift the Veil and all this other kind of stuff. And he said something like, well, what is that woman doing on her channel? No one's listening anyway. Nobody listens. She's an idiot. She's just an idiot. Well, people are listening. People are listening. Like maybe, the video that I did right now, the ChatGPT video, the last one that I did where I was going through ChatGPT to see if there was anything authentic about sending an email to David Shurter, like if it was real, if David Shurter was just making it up. Because a lot of times, I'll watch David and he will been emailed all through the night by Mr. Sophia Music or whomever else is associated with him, or whatever persona is, I'm Doug Mesner, or whatever it is. And then he will get up and say all those things. And unfortunately, someone like myself will be in that narrative of those things. And, you're still getting abuse from the same person behind it. It's like like David in many ways is kind of like this, mouthpiece puppet to a lot of other conspiracies, and also a lot of other people that are the targets of a certain person. I know you know what I'm talking about. I'm trying to soft point this, all right, without publicly really saying it. But from what I can see is that David is not just making it up on his own. Either he's being influenced by that, or he's actually in on that, cognitively knowing it, and it's an entire grift. That's my hypothesis. Either David Shurter is an entire money-grabbing grift, using the topic of, SRA, or, what we would call satanic panic, or something like that. Like taking these narratives that I saw come out on the media that I was on for a really long time, and whipping that into a weapon against somebody else's enemies. Because that's reputation management, right? That's part of the reputation management company. I mean, am I wrong? Or that's my theory. It's like, this is how it's done. You get people who believe in an ideal, like there's a Saint Germain, or they have the DNA of Saint Germain, or they got something special powers. I'm a special shaman, just like what David Shurter says on his channel almost every day. He's special. He's smarter than everybody else. Well, the fact of the matter is he's now gotten somebody who sent him an email. And let me get to the point of AI, because, I've been playing with AI. I did the music. There's the AI music. AI could be the distinction of the human race. It really could. In science, that is one of the theories. I wrote an essay with where I go into that a little bit, into weaving into, that one of the things that might make the human race extinct is actually AI. That is a concern. That's not like just like a conspiracy out there. There are a lot of people that feel that they will like not have their own original thought anymore, that we will be infused with AI intelligence. I mean, isn't that what the Neuralink stuff is? I mean, it's being sold to us like, okay, well, it's going to make you be able to move your, it might, if you were paralyzed, you might be able to walk, and all these other different things that AI could maybe do if it's implanted in a human body. Like, there is the technology happening, right? There are people that are having relationships with apps that are AI, that aren't real people, like in Her, the movie Her. The lines of things in some ways are kind of blurring, and one of those lines is art. There was a photography competition where one of the photos was absolutely AI, and it won. And AI is being implemented, and there's a ChatGPT EDU coming out, being rolled out, language models being created as we speak to be part of our educational system. There is a goal to change every community in a positive way, to use AI in a positive way, as we're being told. Right now, it's happening. One of the biggest things that's happening to us is artificial intelligence. You know, when I tell my mom I made these songs, she's like, oh, I'm leery of that. What does it do for the musicians when who by the way, they're using? Look, if I can, like, right now play those songs, those AI songs, and have people actually go, oh my God, that's not bad. It almost sounds like it almost sounds good. I mean, the lyrics would be better. The lyrics are weird. You're pretentious and contentious. You know, it's rough around the edges, right? But the thoughts are there. How do we know that like people's musics I seriously doubt. This is my thought. I don't know for sure. Don't sue me on this. But I seriously doubt some of the I would say most of the uploads they did not create that music in a studio with real musicians who got paid for their time and a singer who came out and sang those lyrics. I do not believe that all their videos, I would say, let's just be kind and say not all their videos actually really have an authentic human playing anything or singing anything. I don't know for sure. I'm not doing a report right now. I'm just thinking, like, just logically as a person, the possibilities of how somebody could deceive somebody by using AI. And here's where else, like, AI is faulty, is that I was using AI to try to, through ChatGPT EDU, to try to determine what the relationship between Gabe Hoffman and David Shurter was, potentially through AI. And yesterday, okay, AI got down to where, well, we can't authenticate the email between Gabe Hoffman and David Shurter because of the fact that they can't see the raw data. They can't see the metadata. If they could get a hold of the raw data or the metadata, they would know where the source or where it came from. And again, we have Nathan Stoltman, saying, well, nobody listens to her. Nobody cares about what she has to say. Her numbers, I have no influence. Who cares what I have to say about anything here? I mean, obviously, David Shurter has bigger numbers than me. He's like 8.2.5. I don't know. What is Nathan? 15 something, whatever. I mean, now you look at the body of his number, the people actually really watching his videos is not that far off than mine, really. And yet, Gabe Hoffman still contacted me to correct me on what was really the truth of what I was searching for. I didn't contact him. So, and my point is about the AI thing is there's still the human thing. The AI cannot tell you exactly what it is. There's still the human that's going to come out and find you through those, internet channels or social media, whatever connects us. Somewhere my message on my little Not My Rabbit Hole channel got over to him somehow, to where he can make contact with me and say, yeah, I really did email David Shurter. And I'm going to say, I'm actually really happy about that. I think it's time. Gabe Hoffman, not like me, not like, the person who went back to college and, didn't have the stand-up comedy career that gave me the big nest egg yet that I needed. I took my life in a different direction. It's still part of my life. I still do stand-up because I love the art form. But I write funny. I have stories to tell. Your life goes on a different course, right? But somehow what I said on July 4th of all days, on my birthday, got to Gabe Hoffman's ears through somehow. Maybe somebody gave him the video. Maybe somebody said whatever. But he heard me. It's human to human on the devices, not determined by the AI itself. That's a point I want to make too, because this is to me, it's kind of an experiment to see what information can you really get. I should have went to Gabe Hoffman. I should have went, hey, Gabe Hoffman, I'm Terry Joyce. I should have had the balls, the cojones to go, hey, blank, 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 blank. Is this really true about what David Shurter is saying about you? Because I don't know, like I listen to David Shurter, I'm like, oh, it's so outlandish. I just feel like he is ready to grab at any straw he can, at any narrative that he can. And why is it the narratives are the same narratives that were on, well-known conspiracy websites? What, like, you guys can't come up with something original? You don't have a new tread? You can't come up with anything original, and then you got to put other people in it, in your narrative that you don't like. How obvious is that? How obvious is that? Every single little tiny little channel, every little tiny little video, troll out there mimics an aspect of a narrative that we all know, that we can all probably write ourselves. It's so damn predictable. I remember when I was a kid, Scooby-Doo, the show, the cartoon Scooby-Doo. I remember saying this as a child. They go, well, don't you like Scooby-Doo? I go, no, it's the same plot line over and over and over again. So, so-and-so has a ghost problem, but it's the person who has the ghost problem that's the actual ghost. Ding, 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 ding. But people watch it over and over and over again like it's new every freaking time. I don't get that about humans. I don't get that about people. How could you listen to it over and over again and see what it is? You're a little channel. You're a little channel. Nobody's listening to you. Nobody cares about what you have to say. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You say it, it's out there, it's someplace on the internet. It has weight to it. That's why, probably my guess, that Mr. Hoffman said, enough. Enough, David Shurter. You're getting a cease and desist letter. I'm going to ask you to stop it because you're a threat to my well-being and my family. David. He's saying it. What makes us, the rest of us, any different in that threat of what could happen to us? You think, like, he sits there and goes, oh, well, I'm saving kids. No, you're actually like harassing people and really putting themselves in danger for accusing them on that. Look, you're accusing a producer who owns a film called Open Secret about what happens in Hollywood with a famous director. Really, if you look at Open Secret, that is like it is one of the most legitimate documentaries or anything about this particular topic that was done in a way that was thorough and honest, showing what was going on, people's testimonies. Not just somebody that gets up on their YouTube channel with greasy hair and, talk about greasy hair. He talks about people having greasy hair. I'm sorry, but your hair has some grease some days. And screaming and yelling in a camera and making up these outlandish stories. You know what? If I were Sheriff Neil Gross, I would be like, how do you think do you really think that Sheriff Neil Gross is going to want to help David out after he said the things he did about his daughter or all the other stuff beforehand? Like, you're not gratiating the law to have your back when you scream like a little child because they don't believe your bullshit. I mean, come on. And yeah, it is because of the fact, because if I can have influence when not that many people are listening to me and be able to like get a response from somebody that I'm talking about on my little tiny channel that nobody listens to, then what do you think David Shurter can do? Who has 8.5 and people that pump up his channel with more views than it even has at this point. What would be the interest to do that for him? Who's behind that? It's not Daniel Dowd, trust me. We know who it is. We know how it's done. We know how people admit it. Somebody has an interest in elevating David Shurter's defamation with money. Explain that to me. Anyway, I was going to just come on just for a minute just to kind of correct what's going on. Again, if you come in late, Gabe Hoffman did email David Shurter. He did get a cease and desist. It's real. And on that note, I'm going to say goodbye.
He ain't no Saint Germain, no crown, no name. He plays the game, sharp as a flame. Who's to blame for the stolen fame? A shadow dance in the devil's frame. Go in the rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on a stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lows, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. City lights and sirens scream, truth and lies blend like a dream. Wicked smiles, a clever scheme, chasing gold in the neon gleam. Go in the rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on the stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lows, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. Fast, can't find the ground. Echoes of chaos all around. You chose this dance, this mad parade, but not every choice gets accolades. Go in the rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on the stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lows, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. Spinning wild on the stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lows, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. City lights and sirens scream, truth and lies blend like a dream. Wicked smiles, a clever scheme, chasing gold in the neon gleam. Going down the rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on the stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lows, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole.